have a good day. I'm Fabi Gwinnett Idnay and I'm going to report about the 20 terminologies of volleyball. First is rally. Rally is the time between the serve and the end of the play. And on some volleyball terminology, rally is a synonym to volley, which means you keep the ball in play and you return it to the opponent's court without committing any fault. And on volleyball, there are two teams, which means that there is a serving team and a receiving team. And the serving team is the team that serves the ball, and of course, the receiving team, the one who receives the ball. In distinguishing who's gonna be the serving team is that they gonna toss a coin or they keep the ball in play, and the team who's gonna be commit a fault, of course, they will be the one who receives the ball. So fault is any playing action that violates the rules of the game. And if you do the violation, it was the referee who will judge the fault, and of course, there is a consequences in that fault. So one of the consequences would be your team lose a point. So what is ball in? Ball in means that the ball was inside the court because the court have lines, it was being measured. So if you are serving the ball and the ball was inside the net, inside the court rather, I'm sorry, inside the court, that's what we call ball in, and the hand signal of that is here. It means the ball was inside the court. So what is ball touch? Ball touch means that you are touching the ball, you already hit the ball, but you weren't be able to return it to the opponent's court. So, for example, you are a blocker and you're blocking the net, and of course the ball was go gone too far because of the uncertain situation that been happening, or you wanted to pass it to your teammates, but the ball was outside the court and your teammates find it hard to go for the ball, so it was called bull touch. And the hand signal of bull touch is like this, just like that. So ball out means that the ball was outside the court, and some people would call it away, but that is the improper way of calling it. The proper way of calling it if the ball was outside the court is bull out, and the hand signal of that is just like that, bull out. Server is the one who serves the ball, and it comes from the serving team. So what is a point? A point is the result of a rally, and there are many ways on gaining a point. So if your other teams will commit a fault or their ball was ball out, so of course your team will gain a point. And a set, because volleyball was made up of sets, there are 5 sets, and a match is a play wherein the two teams are competing with each other, that there is a winner and a losing team. Set point is wherein your team was win a set, that would be the set point. And the match point is that if your team was winning 3 sets out of 5, so that is the match point, you are the winner. What is a positional or rotational point? So this fault will occur if any player violates the rotation rule, because if your team will be the one who serves the ball, of course your team or the players will rotate clockwise, and sometimes the player will confuse about it or forget about it. So what is team to serve? Team to serve is the one who serves the ball. If the other teams commits a fault, of course the team your team will be the one who will be serving the ball. So what is authorization to serve. So on serving the ball, there is a authorization from the referee that you will be serving the ball, and you should be aware of that, because if you serve the ball without the authorization of the referee, your team will lose a point and the other team will be the one to serve the ball. So what is crossing? Crossing is that when a player of the other team cross from the court of the opponent's court, and sometimes that's happened because of the uncertain situations. And what libero is a player that have specialized defensive skills, and libero is can be replaced by the back players back players, but without the prior of the officials, and the libero cannot do blocking nor attacking. There are 12 maximum substitution per set, and substitution is the replacement of players. So if you gonna replace a blocker, it should be replaced by a blocker, and if you're gonna replace a setter, and it should be replaced by the setter. And the hand signal of that is like this: substitution rep, just like that. So I forgot about foot fault. Foot fault is when the server failed to keep both feet behind this baseline, because there are baseline on on the court, which means you should not step on those baseline, because that's gonna be a foot fault, and of course your team will lose a point and the other team will be the one who will serving the ball. That's all.